Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Today, I wanted to talk about a subject that's very dear to my heart, the meaning of crisis in our lives. And I have spoken and written about it before. A crisis in my own life has proven to be a portal to tremendous transformation. A crisis is a sense of loss. It's when something is taken away from us, whether it's something about our health or our relationships or perhaps a financial crisis. Anything that when we lose it, we come to realize how dependent we've become on the presence of this particular thing or person for our self-identity. And so many of us have created this persona that we show to the outer world in order to be accepted, in order to receive love, in order to achieve whatever our society has conditioned us to believe we must. And crisis usually forces us to understand and to see that that for which we were hunting, that for which to which we were clinging is actually what has brought us off the path, what has taken us off the path of alignment with our inner self. What I'm trying to say is that it is post my crisis several years ago that I have become the person that I am today, where I am in inner alignment. It means that the persona that I show to the outer world, the persona that I share, that I channel, if you want, is in full alignment with the person that I actually am on the inside. It hasn't been easy. I have devoted the last 8 years in trying to understand who I am on the inside. And today, anything that feels out of alignment with that inner higher self, if you want, it actually hurts me. It actually becomes so uncomfortable that I cannot sustain it. And sooner or later, it comes out. Anyway, it's unsustainable, and I can no longer live in that inner discomfort. So something that I've shared with some of my clients and I wanted to share with you today is there were actually moments in my life in this year 2021 where I had finally achieved something within me, an alignment, an inner alignment that was also translated to my behavior, where it was such a huge step for me. It was very frightening. It is something that I was afraid to do for years. But when I did, I understood that something so significant and so momentous happened that when I went to sleep for several days in a row at night, I would just hug myself, close my eyes and say, I am so proud of you. I was saying that to myself. It was the first time in my life that this has happened. And I've achieved all kinds of things in my life and have gone through all kinds of difficulties. But it was something where I shared with a person who knew me in one way, the complexity of who I actually am. I spoke the truth of who I am. And at that moment, I understood that my integrity, my inner alignment was greater than any rejection that I may perceive from this person. It was the most meaningful thing that I did in my life, and I feel like all of my life has led me to it, because of course, as children, we're trained to choose attachment over authenticity. That's how we are molded, that's how we're shaped, that's how we are raised to become the people that our givers needed us to be, and then we proceed to please our way into relationships in order to belong. And this year I had stepped into this sense of belonging to something greater than my human relationships, I stepped into this relationship with life, that I belong here, that there is a reason for me to be who I am, and that I'm willing to risk all of my relationships that were based on the pleasing part of who I am, and to risk everything in order to be in alignment with myself. And what has happened since continues surprising me. The story is not yet over, so I am still living it. But it just was probably one of the more important things that I did in my life. To speak our truth, to come out in our truth, is just everything. And I understood recently that speaking my truth is one of my core values. And as I align with that value in everything I do, in my writing, in my speaking, in the way I lead my life, in the way I build my relationships, it just feels amazingly, actually. That's what it's about. It just feels amazing to be that person. So often when we seek a relationship that we want to be happy in, we think about all the qualities that we want the other person to have. And I have come to the realization that until we become that person that reflects our values, we cannot expect or demand anything of the sort from the people around us, because it all starts with us. And when we become the person that we can be proud of, then we simply attract people of the same caliber, and people who are in our lives are invited to step up and to become the better version of themselves. We cannot do that kind of impact by demanding, forcing, or blaming. It's all about doing the inner work. And then when we become that person, the person that we are proud to be, the person that is in full alignment, then other people around us will either become that as well, or at least will be inspired to, or completely new people will start coming into our lives. And that is really exciting. So I wanted to share that with you today. Thank you for joining me, and I welcome any comments, and hope to see you here next time.